green flag comes out, and we are underway.
Oh, no! They hit. Oh, and now trouble. Oh, yeah.
Over turn 5, known as Madness.
Oh, it will work.
Oh.
Into China Beach. Gene Martin taking a look to the inside.
The NASA 2012 National Championships, presented by Toyo Tires, is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Mazda, zoom zoom.
Toyo Proxys Tires, official tire of those driven to perform their best.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you, because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
I want to drive race cars for a living. I'm racing guys that are twice my age, and they don't think I should be here until I win.
It's the 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires. Time to go racing Spec Miata style here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. A lot of cars, a lot of fast cars, John Lindsay, a lot of good drivers, but only one will become the national champion. Cars out on the racetrack. Here is your starting lineup.
Our pole sitter is Yanis Tisounis in the number 69 Spec Miata. Andrew Von Charbonneau, who we remember from the AI race, next to him. Stephen Farrell next up in third. P4 Justin Hilly, then Greg Stachowski, then Aaron McSpadden, Alec Udell, Alex Bolanos in eighth, Christopher Williams in ninth, Blake Clements, followed by Taylor Ferranti, Nick Malatesta, Chris Price, Kyle Webb is next. Number 15 is, or number 22 in a 15 spot, Charlie Hayes. Then Robert Keller, Adam Bolivar, Frank Todaro, Gar Robinson, and the 20th spot is Jonathan Miller.
Starting 21st is the 52 of Angelo Dinkov, 22nd the 13X of Hernan Palermo, 23rd the 56 of Jonathan Davis, followed by the 87 of David Spencer, the 47 of Joey Jordan, the 187 of Chris Adams, the 34 of Andrew Switlick, the 2 of Ernie Francis Jr., the 9 of Spencer Smith, and starting 30th, the 67 of Sammy McSpadden. Starting 31st, the 113 of Jay North, followed by the 70 of Tyler Dahl, the 13 John Mueller, the 18 of Matt Montes, the 12 of Dan Harding, and 36th will be the 5 of Michael Globe. Then the 24 of Manny Plattis, the 73 of Marcus Mazza, the 25 of Christian Maloof, the 12X of Bruce Byerly, and 41st, the 11 of Gail Corley, and the 99 starting deep, Tony Sinise, back in the 42nd spot. Cars lined up 2 by 2, 45 minutes of Spec Miata action here on the 13-turn, 2.25 mile Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. John, we've talked about one of the most popular classes, also one of the biggest classes from coast to coast in the National Auto Sport Association. We saw a great race last year, a little slipperier 1 year ago. This year, a beautiful day. The weather is cooperating awesome now, and it is going to be green, white, checkered. I'm feeling big-time racing here in Spec Miata.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. This is going to be a great start, I hope.
As they all slam on the brakes looking for the green flag coming down the back straightaway.
The John Lindsay curse.
The 69, Giannis on the pole, setting the pace. Von Charbonneau second. We are green in Mid-Ohio here in Spec Miata. Who can drive it in deeper? Back on the brakes, locking them up. That is the 69-year pole sitter. And he will lead them down up into madness. Very tight racing.
I don't think you'd get a credit card between those two guys right now. Sionis right there, Andrew Von Charbonneau right behind him. I think that's going to be quite a battle between those two guys. Looks like a little off-roading happening in your world with the Lucas Off-Road Series, right?
Yeah, the Sionis there in the 69 got the jump, made it happen through the Madness turn, now down into Thunder Valley. And
look at that train.
when you talk about spec Miata, spec meaning the cars are virtually all the same.
They are pretty much the same. There's different chassis involved, but Mazda has worked it out to get, and also, you know, ourselves and our friends at the Sports Car Club of America, we've also worked out parity between these different chassis. And all these cars, they run exactly the same. You see different generations of Miatas there, both of them running right just there, hammer and nail, boom, getting it done.
69 leading lap number 1. Ioannis Sionis out of New York, regular in the Northeast region, picked up the win Thursday during the qualifier and backed it up with the win Friday during the qualifier. So he is trying to go 3 for 3, and we've seen that a lot here this week. Drivers that have won both their qualifying events and were very fast in the national championship race, and right now Sionis is getting it done. He is your leader. Andrew Von Charbonneau is second. Justin Hilley in that 48, who started in 4th, is running 3rd. Aaron McSpadden, who started back in 6th, right now is in 4th spot.
So we can see the field kind of sorting itself out a little bit, and I imagine we'll be able to follow some great battles back in the pack as well. But right now it's looking pretty clean with our front 3. Hidden down into Madness coming out of there, and it's almost kind of eerie to watch how the train, because they all look a little bit the same, and it's just awesome to watch these guys dicing it up. And
Justin Hilley there in that 3rd spot, the 48 car, and a neat story. He's currently leading the Great Lakes points from nearby Canfield, Ohio. 21-year-old driver, did his first day at a racetrack here at Mid-Ohio at 16 years old back in 1986. He was hooked ever since. He ran 16th in Utah back in 2010. He was very good in the qualifiers last year, ran 2nd in one of the qualifiers, finished up 7th in the race, and finished 2nd on Thursday's qualifier, of course, to the driver who's currently leading.
And it's been said, and I think it's confirmed, that there are more Mazdas racing around the country than any other brand. So once again, you're seeing a very popular brand, great support from the manufacturer, and the true definition of zoom zoom right here.
So back down into Kiel we go, your top 3. Nose to tail, with your leader pulling away just a little bit behind them. A nice 3-car battle for 4th, 5th. Almost call it a 4-car battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's Aaron McSpadden in the 75, followed by Stephen Farrell, Alex Blanos, and Gregory Staszowski in the 32. And here we go, down the back straightaway. Here's the battle for 4th.
Oop, looks like a little bit of move coming to the inside there, but no, couldn't get it done. So you have to be very careful, because there's something in NASA racing called a punt. If you have a contact and you spin somebody out, you're going to have a very bad day, because that's usually a disqualification and the end of your championship race.
Justin Hilley there in the red number 48, running in that 3rd spot, as Sionis there pulling away just a little bit. He's still your leader from the front row, has led them all to this point.
That is quite a train. They just keep popping over the hill. They're just not stopping.
Yeah, it looks like you get 3 or 4 car packs at this point. You have the top 3 kind of pull away, then the next 3 in a pack there. You see the 32. Staszowski, driver out of West Virginia, ran 3rd in this race 1 year ago. Some great battles, and it's still early. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1.
Sionis is still out front. His best lap time so far, 1:43.569. And Justin Hilley just behind with a 1:44.005 best lap time. Stephen Farrell, 1:43.732 best lap time for our top 3 in Spec Miata.
And the 57 to the left of your screen, that is Alex Bolanos making a move to the inside. He had just got by Staszowski for 5th. Now moves by the 75, Aaron McSpadden, for 4th. So Bolanos, who started back in 8th, now into the top 5 in 4th.
And Rob, from this view, you can see him really working the draft. They do something with the bumper music there where they all just get in a line. Spec Miatas don't have a whole ton of power, so they are working that draft to try and get a little more speed coming down, and they may pop out at the end and try to, you know, kind of pay their draft buddy back by passing him in the corner, kind of like the Frog and the Scorpion, the old fable. So we'll watch for a lot of that bump drafting going on down the front straight, or the back straight really is the most significant point for the bump drafting.
Justin Hilly taking over the second spot from Stephen Farrell. Farrell back to third, McSpadden fourth, Bolanos into fifth. And they are making their way to the front. As now they are still nose to tail, kind of a bigger pack now, 5 cars. As you can see Hilly there in that red number 48 as they cross the stripe. Sienna's still your leader, Hilly and the 33. Nose to tail for second as they head back down into turn number 1. Again, we're on the pro course here at Mid-Ohio, 2.25 miles, 13 turns.
Looks like we just got a report from control. Looks like Andrew Von Charbonneau has vanished from our results, so he's not visible anymore. Something must have happened to him. That's a shame. Looks like Sionis has about a 2.5 second lead on the rest of the field, but boy, that ain't much in a race like this, Rob.
No, you're absolutely right there. As you can see, Hilly trying to hold off Steve Farrell there in the 33 car, and it looks like Charbonneau has fallen way back, now in the 24th position.
So he must have had some kind of mechanical failure and off, a bobble of some sort. Whoa, there was my thing about the pump drafting. Use it like a master, but can you make it stick up over madness?
I believe that was the 33 of Farrell making a move on Hilly, made it work.
Wow.
And we see that a lot here in Spec Miata because, again, these cars are very similar in the horsepower and the weight and a lot of that. So a lot of the same speeds, a lot of the same times, and it comes down to pretty much driver behind the wheel.
It does. It really does, because all the cars are very even. Up in the technical inspection shed, all of these cars will most likely be down to their frames and engine blocks by the end of this evening, just to inspect everything and uphold our champions as all being legal. But boy, they are close right there, and Justin Hilly is not letting Alex Bolanos get away with that.
So Alex Bolanos making the move on Hilly, who now follows him through the final turn to the front straightaway. The 33 of Stephen Farrell runs second, Bolanos third, now Hilly back to fourth, Stashowski runs fifth. And again, you can see to the left of your screen, that is Justin Hilly, the 48. Trying to get back by now the 57 of Alex Bolanos, the third and fourth cars in line. As they head to the keyhole, we'll see if he has anything for him. 57, that first red car. Both cars running the very tight, low line through the 180-degree, virtually 180-degree keyhole turn.
And an interesting tidbit, Stephen Farrell is actually one of our Teen Miata Challenge driver, or Teen Mazda Challenge drivers, so younger driver, and this is really a chance for them to step up. If he wins, you know, he's going to be motivated to get into that Mazda shootout, but that's a great program that we have supported by Mazda where they take younger drivers and really give them a chance. They can also win a shot at the Mazda shootout through that Teen Mazda Challenge, but he can maybe pull the, poker, the wheel, the high and the low hand. He wins the championships and the Mazda Teen Championships, and he gets 2 shots at the shootout, I guess.
Well, you gotta like that.
It's not too shabby.
Justin Hilly in the 48. You can see really trying to reel back in the 57 of Bolanos. Probably not too thrilled the way Bolanos made the move, but tapped him, didn't move him out of the way, just ruffled his feathers, so to speak, and made it work. So
I'm not even sure he tapped him. It may have just been natural stepping out there, but you know, you got to. This is a class where everyone is so equal. It's got to come down to absolute car control and absolute skill at the end of the day.
That 32 car, we mentioned Greg Stashowski up there into the 5th spot. Blake Clements now running 6th in the number 6, started back in 10th. Christopher Williams, Aaron McSpadden, Alec Udell, and Taylor Ferranti round out your top 10. Ferranti in the 51. Ran 8th and 11th in the qualifying event. Still nose to tail here up towards the front. Top 5 cars pulling away. And
And Sionis is opening up the gap a little bit while the fellas behind him are all battling it out. Again, that same thing we've seen in the Honda Challenge race and some of the other races. While there's that battle going on, they're working on battling instead of running the perfect school line. So Sionis is able to check out a little bit here.
Back down by China Beach up to Madness, seeing the 55 of Christopher Williams on track for 7th position. Right behind him, the 6th, we mentioned Blake Clements. A little bit further up, that is the 57 of Alex Bolanos, who doesn't have to worry about Justin Hilly now, because Hilly has been passed, it looks like, by the 32 of Stashowski.
So a lot of changes taking place in this front part of our field here in Spec Miata in this first part of our race.
So here they come once again. That is Alex Bolanos right there. Right behind him, that might be the 33 car, Stephen Farrell.
So it looks like another little bit of a change there, Rob.
Yeah, so they ran back down that 33 car. Yeah, they did. They passed Farrell, so Farrell falls back to 3rd. Bolanos gets by. Hilly now having to worry about Stashowski, who's actually behind him in that 32 car, while your leader, the 69, Giannis Tsunis, is kind of checked out at this point. You can see he's got a sizable lead, laying down some pretty fast laps as well.
But we should note that Bolanos' last lap was a 1:43.465, while Sionis's was a 6:94, 1:43.694. So he's running 0.2 a lap quicker, and that's going to get made up pretty quick. So Bolanos is on a tear trying to hunt down Sionis, and there comes Sionis, I believe. Let's see how, there they are. So that's definitely striking distance to get that top spot on the podium.
Well, in theory, 2 cars are faster than 1, and I would assume 4 cars are faster than 2, in theory.
Unless all 4 of them are battling for position.
Yeah, if they stay nose to tail all the way around the racetrack and run a perfect lap, obviously that will jump them up a little bit. But you can see the 69 car very smooth on the racetrack through the Honda Bridge there and down into Thunder Valley, running a very smooth lap.
Let's try to do the Samson radio network again here. We'll check in with our National Spec Miata director, John Mueller. So let's pull up our radio net and see if we can raise John. John Mueller, this is John Lindsay and Rob Klepper in the Speedcast booth. How's it going for you out there?
Yeah, it's going okay considering I moved it in the keyhole, but it's all good. The weekend racer Miata's running pretty good.
That's great. The weekendracer.com Miata is doing okay for John Mueller. John, you looped it in the keyhole. Sorry to hear that. And we'll hope to see you moving up from that perhaps little mistake there.
Well, I'm trying.
Good man, John. We're rooting for you and keep on trucking.
Thanks, John.
And of course, John Mueller out of Burbank, California, and struggled a little bit in the qualifying events, finishing 34th, 32nd, trying to better that by a handful here today in the National Championships. So we still got a battle. Looks like Bolanos now has pulled away a little bit from Hilly. Hilly, that car on your right, the right of your screen there, the red 48, followed by the 33 of Stephen Farrell, and then the 32 of Greg Stashowski. So Farrell, who was running 2nd for the first portion of this race, is now, here comes Gregory Stashowski looking to the inside of the 33. The 33 car trying to drive in deep to hold off that 32. I don't know if it's going to pay off. Maybe, yes it does.
Wow, they are close.
And that will allow Hilly to kind of pull away a couple car lengths from these guys going side by side. So Hilly holds onto the spot. You see now the 55 car working his way up into the mix. That is Christopher Williams, that orange 55. So trying to make some moves here. Again, this race, 45 minutes total from the time the drivers leave the paddock. Again, there is the 57 of Alex Bolanos, about halfway through this race, closing in on 23 laps, 23 minutes, I should say.
You can see Stashowski there got a little bit sideways, so he is really pushing. Past national champion, so he is looking to get out of this pack, break away, and start running some clean school laps and try to chase down Sionis.
Through turn number 1, headed toward the keyhole here. No, well, we see the 33 make a move to the inside. Would have thought Stashowski would have put a move on Hilly, but he's locked into the back bumper of that 48. Some great racing here in Spec Miata as Giannis Tsounis continues to lead. Alex Bolanos, Justin Hilly, that is your top three. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more racing here from Mid-Ohio. The 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And by Mazda, zoom zoom.
Toyo Proxys Tires, official tire of those driven to perform their best.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you, because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
I want to drive race cars for a living. I'm racing guys that are twice my age, and they don't think I should be here until I win.
Welcome back to the Spec Miata National Championship race here at the 2012 NASA Championships, presented by Toyo Tires. We're live here on SpeedcastTV.com. Continued coverage of this very historic racetrack and this big-time Spec Miata race where we will crown a national champion. Leader to this point has led pretty much every single lap, Giannis Tsounis. But we have got some great side-by-side racing here as these guys trying to get on that top spot, and they are 2 and 3 wide up to madness.
Boy, that is a battle right there. It looks like we have 6 cars that any one of them at any time is going to be in front of the other one. That is an absolutely super battle for third place there in Spec Miata.
Greg Stashowski, the white and green number 32, holds on to third. You see Justin Hilly up in there, the 55 car making some moves. That is the orange 55 of Christopher Williams working up into the mix. Behind him, the 33 car of Stephen Farrell.
And now that maybe Bolanos has broken away from that pack that he was working in, maybe he can chase down Tsounis. But we'll see. Wow, this is quite a race. Let's see what the difference is this time by between Tsounis and Bolanos. A 5-second gap. So Tsounis is holding the gap. He doesn't have any traffic in front of him, so he can run perfect lines, but maybe Bolanos will be able to catch up as he's broken away from that battling pack of 6 or 7 cars that we've seen for the whole race so far.
And you know, we talked about it before. This is a perfect scenario for your leader to say, you know what, I don't want a caution to come out. I'm on cruise control. I got a foot up on the dash. You know, I got a cup of coffee. I'm good to go. I can take this thing, no issues. Where Bolanos, Stashowski, Hilly, they're thinking, we need a caution to bunch this thing back up if we want to have a shot to win this deal.
Oh yeah, I mean those guys are hoping for a caution. They'd probably buy a pizza for anyone who causes one right now.
Well, I guess you could call Keselowski and have someone throw a water bottle out on the racetrack, and he got
you never know.
He got zinged for it.
Either that or a shoe, whatever it is.
Well, again, we are watching the battle as Greg Stashowski holds on to the 3rd spot. That's 4th Justin Hilly, 5th behind him Christopher Williams, 6th Stephen Farrell, 7th Blake Clements, 8th Alec Udell, Taylor Ferrante up to 9th, and Aaron McSpadden now, who started 6th, has fallen back to 10th in the 75. So Stashowski, the green and white number 32, kind of leading the pack there as Giannis Tsounis is gone. He is checked out. Alex Bolanos holds on to 2nd. There is Aaron McSpadden in the 10th place, that red and white number 75 car. McSpadden from Round Rock, Texas, ran 5th on Thursday, 12th one day ago in the qualifying events. Taylor Ferrante right in front of McSpadden there. Ferrante, the black number 51, as they cross the start-finish line here. another driver out of Texas, Houston, Texas. DNF'd in last year's national championship race. And no trouble for a car on the racetrack. Looked like a little bit of smoke there before drove off the track, so more than likely terminal engine problems.
And boy, if that was on a critical part of the racetrack and put down some oil, there may be that caution that that pack of that gang of 6 is looking to catch up to Bolanos and Sionis.
So no caution now on the racetrack. And when we say caution, guys running second on back would like a full course caution to slow everybody back down. A local caution is not going to do it. Bolanos running laps close to the leader, if not faster, but still not enough to reel in Janis Tsunis. The 69 is checking out. There's Stashowski once again, the 32. Still trying to hold off Williams in the 55. Hilly now back to 5th. And Stashowski, you mentioned, former national champion. That was
looks like Justin Hilly. We're getting a report from control that Justin Hilly may be off with a mechanical failure now in turn 1. That car that we saw was Justin Hilly, we believe, based on reports we're getting from our control. And guess what, Rob? Full course yellow time.
There it is. So they need to attend to the 48 car, and by doing that, we'll have to bring out the caution flag, and that will make one driver probably not too happy, but 40 drivers probably extremely happy. So full course caution here in Spec Miata. Janis Tsunis, your leader, had a pretty big lead over Alex Bolanos, but that will become pretty much nothing as we'll have a single file restart. There is Bolanos in the 57, followed by Stashowski, Williams, and Farrell. That is your top 5. So full course caution here in Spec Miata.
Well, maybe during this caution we can fire up again our Samson Racing Communications Network and get a chance to talk to Taylor Ferranti. So in the truck, if we could bring our net up and let's see if Taylor's around. Taylor Ferranti, this is John Lindsay and Rob Klepper in the Speedcast TV booth. How's it going for you? Taylor, you out there? It's John and Rob in the booth. Well, gosh darn it, it looks like my radio curse has returned. So Taylor's doing great, though. Yeah, you know, Taylor's doing great here, and he's moved up to 8th place. So maybe he got so excited that the darn radio plug fell out, or he's going so fast that the antenna just sheared right off of the roof there. But looks like Sionis was enjoying his good fortune, and now he's behind that Honda S2000 pace car here. And the field's going to bunch up, and we'll have ourselves a restart, and I think we'll have ourselves an automobile race.
Yeah, and we have under 15 minutes left in this Spec Miata National Championship race. So we're getting down to the wire. And what's going to be interesting here on this restart, we saw your leader, the 69, check out. We saw Bolanos work his way, race his way into second. His car, as far as lap times, has been very similar to your leader, but now he's going to be right behind him. So he doesn't have to run him down anymore. He's right there. And that's going to make Sionis a little nervous at this point.
He's got to be really nervous. I'm looking at the best lap times here. Bolanos' best time was a 1:43.021. Sionis was a 1:43.213. So in theory, Bolanos is 0.2 quicker now than Sionis. So we'll see what happens. Stashowski is right there. The rest of the field also, you know, in that kind of mid to low 43s. Of note, Alec Udell has been notching some 1:43.387 as his best time and moved up to 7th place. So we could really have some interesting things happening on this restart.
We caught a glimpse there of the 48, Justin Hilly, being towed off the racetrack, so that will end his day, obviously, as we're under full course caution. Once we get the 48 off the racetrack and the safety personnel make sure that there's no debris and that we are all good to go, we'll get back underway here. About 14 minutes, a little under 14 minutes left to go in this race. And it should be a very interesting restart as we'll go single file style. Tsunis, as we mentioned, winning the qualifying events, both of them earlier this week. Alex Bolanos behind him in the 57 finished 13th and 5th in the qualifying events. Right now running 3rd, Stashowski in the 32 ran 14th and 3rd in the qualifying events. Christopher Williams, who is currently 4th in the 55, finished 7th and 8th in the qualifying events. And rounding out your top 5, Stephen Farrell there in the 33 out of Allen, Texas, ran 3rd and 6th. So these are the guys that have been up towards the front all week long, and as fate would have it, we have them up front here in the national championship race. And very shortly, John, we're going to get back to green flag racing.
Yep, we've had a positive report from our NASA control staff that we will be green this time by. With Spec Miata, we're going to do a restart there on the back straight. You'll see that Honda S2000 pace car pull in, probably midfield there, and let these guys have at it. And what they're doing right now is they're not trying to be crazy and freak each other out. What they're doing is trying to warm their tires back up, knock some crud off them, so they're trying to get the warmth back in the tires and get ready to go.
So into keyhole here, and then we'll head to the back straightaway. When you have this many cars on the track, the leaders will be on the front stretch, or on the back stretch, gassing it up. One of the fastest parts of the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, where some of the other cars will be making the turn through the keyhole. So unfortunately for them, being that far back, you're probably going to lose a little bit here, because you're not going to build up the speed like the leaders have as they head down toward the China Beach area through the kink here. And it looks like the green flag is coming out, and we are back underway as Sunis in the 69 gets a little bit of a jump on the rest of the field. He jumps out about 4 or 5 car lengths now, heading up into madness.
Well, and that's kind of clever, because as the pace sitter or the pace setter or the pole sitter, you get to set the pace for the rest of the field. So Sionis may have seen a little bit of an advantage there, and maybe ramped it up a little bit, and the other guys didn't get the memo, so he turned that into putting his car right in the sweet spot on the tachometer, and off he went. So looks like he's getting some of that 4 seconds back that he lost, but here comes the rest of the field, and they are charging hard.
Yeah, I think now if you're Alex Bolanos and you see the leader kind of pull away, if Stashowski is right behind you and you think, man, you know what, I can team up with this guy. If I get Stashowski to push me, help me around this racetrack, we can run down this leader. It's probably going to be very tough to do it all by yourself, because like we said, you know, Bolanos has been running kind of the same lap times as Sionis. So if he's 4 or 5 car lengths behind him running the same lap times, it's very difficult to gain on your leaders. They cross the stripe, under 10 minutes to go. Gail Corley in the 11 car started deep in 41st, up to 23rd. Best improvement so far here on the racetrack. Corley in the 11 car out of Willis, Texas. Did not start either of the qualifying events. Started deep here and racing with the front. Through keyhole, you see the drivers starting to wear their stuff out. Get a little push there, driving it into turn 3 there.
Well, and that may have been colder tires, because they may have not had a chance to warm them up when they were doing their formation, well, not formation, but their restart lap. Didn't get enough temp into them, and off they went. Nice pass right there.
And the 55, that's the battle for 4th right there, right in front of them, the battle for, actually a 3-car battle for 3rd, a couple car battle for 4th, and it looks like the caution comes out one more time. It looks like 2 cars.
Car number 70 and car number 25 got together, and unfortunately car number 70 is now stuck, so we have to go full course yellow again. Bunch them up, and here we go again.
That would be the 70 of Tyler Dahl and the 25 of Christian Maloof, bringing out the full course caution. I don't know if these guys up front have been told yet.
Well, I hope they don't pass under yellow, because that would result in a penalty from our race director today. Race director's Ken Kurtz out of Northern California, another good friend of mine, and he is keeping these guys keeping it clean. So we'll see how this latest restart goes. Then we'll have a hard charge to the end, and all of the advantage is gone now.
So Alex Bolanos will have another shot at your leader, Giannis Sunis. Full course caution for the 2nd time here in Spec Miata.
And that's a shame to see Tyler Dahl out. He was third at the 2010 National Championships up at Miller Motorsports Park. So he could have had a shot at it. It's a shame for a race to end that way and have him out there. Yep, looks like he's stuck, just kind of sitting out there.
Yeah, you mentioned third in 2010, seventh back in 09 at Utah at Miller Motorsports Park. Of course, his home state from Spanish Fork, Utah.
And you can see the Miller logo right there on the door.
Another great racetrack here in the United States.
Yep, and it's our site of our 2013 National Championships. Our good friends at Miller Motorsports Park inviting us back for another year.
That's good to know. I did not know that, John Lindsay.
I did not know that, yeah. Yeah, we are headed back to Miller for one more year for the 2013 National Championships.
So we'll line them up nose to tail one more time. You can see your leader, Janus, probably thinking, really? Really? Caution's out? Really? You kidding me? Just under 7 minutes, about 6.5 minutes left to go here. But he did pull away from the field on that last restart, and I'm sure feels that he can do it again. Meanwhile, behind him, Alex Bolanos is saying, all right, you got me once. Let's see if you can get me twice.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
That's
so
right.
I imagine he will be glued to Sionis's back bumper.
Stashowski right now in third. Again, Christopher Williams fourth. The 33, Farrell in fifth. Then Blake Clements, Taylor Fronte up to seventh. Alec Udell eighth. Aaron McSpadden ninth. Charlie Hayes in the 22. Mentioned him earlier out of Walnut Creek, California. Currently rounding out your top 10 for Spec Miata. Not much time left. If you want to make a move to try and get to the front, you're going to have a good shot here on this restart.
Well, let's bring our Samson radio network up again and see if we can raise Charlie Hayes. He's right there. So green this time by, but let's see if we can talk to Charlie real quick. Hey, Charlie, this is Rob Klepper and John Lindsay. I almost said Rob Kreider, my host on Speedcast. How's it going out there, Charlie? We're up here in the booth.
Right now, it's actually going pretty good. I'm kind of thankful for all these yellows because I was stuck in a kind of a tough spot by myself while everyone else was not really gaining on me or I was catching up on anybody. So we're just going to use this start, hopefully get through it clear, no problem, and start taking away on people and try to move up front.
Well, thanks, Charlie. Good luck. Congrats on getting up to 10th so far, and we'll hope to see you move up a couple positions in the final moment of this 2012 National Championship race.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's really made some moves as of late. You know, he brings up a good point. You know, with all these cars, when we talk about the spec class, all these cars are very similar. It's very difficult to pass. I mean, it's very difficult to pass. And these guys that are making moves and coming from the back to the front and making it look easy are just showing you how good of drivers they really are. And a guy like Charlie Hayes, who's moved up, Gail Corley, another one to move up there from 41st up there as well. It's very impressive to see him do it here on this racetrack. Now, given a couple cautions are going to help you out in that regard, but still you need to make the moves and get it done. So very impressive to see these drivers moving up to the front from deep in the pack here. And Janus Tsunis says, all right, keyhole for the final time under caution. We're going to go green on the back straightaway. Let's see if he pulls one on Bolanos. You said he'd be on his rear bumper, and it looked like right there he was Velcroed to the 69 car, so we'll see how that goes here on this restart.
No, unless Sionis is clever and slows way down and then takes off, but that is definitely frowned on by the race director, so I don't think as he's out front he's going to take that kind of risk.
So looking for the green flag here, hopefully for the final time in Spec Miata, as we are close on time. Not a lot of time left if you want to try and win this national championship. Green flag is out, and we are back underway as Sionis goes to the outside. Can Bolanos make a move heading into Madness? He will not do it, though very close as they go up the hill.
He really closed in that time, and I think he was trying to work a little draft off of Sionis, but he could not get it done. But boy, look at, here comes Stashowski. He is right there right in the mix with these guys, so I think we are going to see a three-way battle for the finish.
Just under 3 minutes left to go in the Spec Miata National Championship. The battle for the lead is heating up. Yanis Tsunis, the 69 has it. The 57, Bolanos wants it. Behind him, Stashowski. Christopher Williams in the 55. Stephen Farrell in the 33. Nose to tail about the top 15 cars as they make their way into Thunder Valley, into the carousel. Then finally here on the front straightaway. Yeah, you can see right now, Bolanos did not get duped by the leader on that last restart. Now about a car length behind him as they head down into turn to number 1. Pulling away just a little bit from Stashowski there in the green and white number 32, currently running 3rd. Orange 55, Williams in that 4th spot. Then the silver 33 of Farrell rounds out your top 5. And here comes Farrell taking a peek to the inside. Is he going to make it work? Hard on the brakes, and it looks like he is going to make it work into turn to number 1. Deep in the field, someone taking the scenic route.
Oh, looks like we have another car off.
So Yanis Tsunis still out front. Bolanos unable to get by. Stashowski holds on to 3rd. Farrell now in the 33 with a nice run out of the keyhole, taking a peek to the inside of the 32.
Right now they're playing a little brake pedal chicken. Who can hold out and brake the latest?
Coming off Madness, there is your top 2. The battle for the lead. Stashowski holding on to 3rd. And Alex Bolanos, a lot better restart this last time, and he is on the rear bumper. And once this national championship, Bolanos from Miami, Florida, as we mentioned, DNF'd in this race 1 year ago. Would be a great bounce back to get the national title this year.
I don't think that would be too much of a problem. You might enjoy that. Getting indications from our control tower that we will have the white flag indicating one lap remaining this time by. But we have dispatched the tow truck to go and get someone off, so this will be an interesting one. Whoa, and we have a challenge for the lead.
Looks like Bolanos had a run on the outside through carousel. A tough place to make a move. Couldn't pull it off, but now with the white flag out, last chance to make it happen here in Spec Miata on his rear bumper through turn number 1, headed to the keyhole. As they race for the lead, Yanis Tsunis has been very good. Off turn 1 all the way through the keyhole as they are fanning out 3 and 4 wide. Everybody making a move here in Spec Miata. Christopher Williams going top shelf, trying the outside groove as they race through the keyhole. It looks like Bolanos is going to hold him off, but Stashowski now trying to stay on the podium in that 32 car.
Zoom, zoom indeed.
These guys on the hammer battling for a national championship. Some just trying to get on the podium, waiting for their leader to make a mistake. He has made none. He has led since the green flag dropped, and they will head into Madness for the final time. Bolanos still in 2nd. Oh, and one off the racetrack, back on the racetrack. That is the 61 of Alec Udell. Meanwhile, up front, Tsunis, a 3 to 4 car length advantage over Bolanos, who has a couple car lengths on the 3rd place. Stashowski, Chris Williams still back in 4th after making a great move on the 33. But John into Thunder Valley the final time, and it looks like it's going to be tough to get by this leader.
Tsunis with a nearly perfect drive. I can't find fault with anything he did there. Looks like we had another car off there. Here we come to the line with Yanis Tsunis.
And for the final time, the checker flag comes out. Tsunis will get the win here in Spec Miata. A fantastic run, battled through 2 full course cautions, restarts to hold off Alex Bolanos. Bolanos comes home 2nd. Stashowski on the podium in 3rd. Christopher Williams and Taylor Ferrante comes home in 5th.
Now look at this, Rob. 6th place was Andrew Von Charbonneau, so he came back from 24th place after that restart to come back up to 6th place.
Yeah, we're so busy watching these guys for the front, we forgot about Von Charbonneau, who started outside of row number 1, fell back mid-pack, and then raced his way back up. The 113 crosses the stripe with a little bit of bumper damage. That is Jay North, but man, what a great race, great battles.
Not like last year's slippery race where Nathaniel Sparks went off and whacked the wall and then came back to win, but I mean, just a real textbook, very nice drive by Yanis Siunis.
So the driver from New York, sweeps this week at the National Championships in Spec Miata, wins both the qualifying races, leads wire to wire, and wins the National Championship. Yanis Siunis picks up the win. Alex Bolanos comes home second. Greg Stashowski ends up third on the podium. Fourth, Christopher Williams. Fifth, Taylor Ferrante. Sixth, a great drive for Andrew Von Charbonneau. Seventh, Stephen Farrell. Eighth, Aaron McSpadden. Ninth, Blake Clements, and Charlie Hayes in the 22 rounds out our top 10. So again, Yanis Siunis wins here at Mid-Ohio. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to our Spec Miata national champion. The 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And by Mazda. Zoom, zoom.
Toyo Proxys Tires, official tire of those driven to perform their best.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you, because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
I want to drive race cars for a living. I'm racing guys that are twice my age, and they don't think I should be here until I win.
Back here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, where we just crowned a Spec Miata national champion as Yanis Siunis gets it done, leads wire to wire here at the 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires. Spec Miata cars are making their way back to the pit area, back to the paddock area, the top three, of course, heading to the podium. Well, it's time to talk to the champions, the winners here in Spec Miata. All the drivers doing a great job. And John, we saw a great race, but let's go down trackside to the podium with Jeremy Scott.
Thanks, Rob. It's been a great race all day long. But first of all, Spec Miata race was very wild. Yanis Siunis took the pole and he won the race. Congratulations. It was a bit of a wild race for you, but you stayed up near the front. Although the last couple restarts, you had some close competition there.
Yeah, they didn't make it on me. We had a couple of restarts, but I managed to stay ahead and break the draft a little bit, and kept it going. It was good. It made for better racing. 2 restarts. We had to start 3 times. I had to get away 3 times.
Well, let's talk about those restarts. You had both of them were on the back straightaway, which was an advantage for you. Second to last restart, you got a good jump, but the last restart, you had Bolanos all over you.
Yeah, he learned from the first restart. Seriously. He realized what was going to do, so I got away.
Well, congratulations, great win, and you got the Mazda shootout to look forward to now, too.
All right, I'm going to drive an S5 Cup car. Yeah, baby. It's awesome.
Yanis Siunis, he is your winner. Let's see if we can run down, talk with at least our second place. Got a little bit of a close-up face for him. We'll talk to Alex Bolanos. Alex, well, you tried it. You tried all you could, especially after that last restart. Yep. What'd you have for him?
You know, we gave him everything we had. He, you know, I had him in some of the technical stuff. He had me coming onto the corners on the long straights. So we, but it was a good run. I want to thank Momo, Auto Technic, Jeff Labani, and my family for all their support.
Talked to Yanis. He said that second to last restart got a jump, but the last restart when you were attached to him, you learned. Did you learn something from Yanis there, or was it the slow approach to that final restart?
Yeah, I think I fell asleep on that first restart, but I got another try. Kept up with him in that one, and you know, just tried to chase him down. But by then, you know, all of our tires were running off and all that. And then we had an interesting situation in turn one with a safety truck, which was pretty cool. But that's all we had.
Congratulations, Alex. Let's go to our third place finisher, Greg Stashowski. Greg, second year in a row here, he finished third. What did it take to stay up there? We noticed you had a lot of battles there throughout the middle of the race.
What did it take? I guess just a good car, good sponsors, and a little bit of a good drive. It was a pretty good battle there in the middle. And then I ended up chasing down the front guys with a little bit of a gap, and then they threw the yellow. So bunched everybody back up. First restart wasn't that great. Second restart was better, but I just had nothing for the first two cars. So I developed a little push, and these guys were able to catch me. But luckily I had enough to keep them behind me.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you next year, hopefully.
Okay, thanks.
Guys, back to you in the booth, and I'll tell you what, I have to say the Miata race had to be the most interesting race of the day, but the most entertaining as well.
Well, thanks a lot, Jeremy Scott, and I think you're absolutely right. Very entertaining race and very competitive, and I think throwing those two cautions in there is kind of what made it very competitive. It slowed everything down, got everybody bunched back up, and it gave Bolanos, it gave Stashowski a shot to try and take down Siunis. They just couldn't do it.
Great race, Rob. Great race. Really shows the equalness of these cars, and that it's all about the skill of those drivers, the car handling skills. You saw the strategy with Siunis on the restart, and wow, could not ask for better than that. Chock full of zoom zoom.
So congratulations once again to Yanis Siunis, who sweeps here at the NASA Championships. He won the Thursday and Friday qualifiers out of the state of New York and takes home the 2012 National Championship.